I've got Jimbo here from Precision Ski.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is a lovely morning. Of course,
Wow.
every day is a lovely morning when we have Jimbo on the set. So what'd you bring here today for us?
Well, today we've talked about different aspects of your equipment over the previous weeks, and one thing we haven't talked about is bindings. And a lot of people take bindings for granted on their skis and just know that when you click into them, off you go skiing, and you have a good balance of performance and safety. And that means that the binding will release out of the toe or out of the heel when you want it to, or when it needs to. So in order to do this complicated dance, it's necessary to maintain your bindings. And the industry suggests every 30 days of skiing, or once a year, you should take your bindings and your boot into the ski shop. We make sure that the binding fits in the boot. We ask you questions about what type of skier you are, and this gives you an idea of what the choices are, type 1, 2, or 3. It's not beginner, intermediate, and advanced. It's how you ski, if you ski in a gentle way or an aggressive way or somewhere in between. That's one of the bits of information that we need to adjust your bindings. We also go by charts that the binding manufacturers produce, and what this does is it asks you some personal prying information about how much do you weigh, how tall are you, and then combined with the skier type and the length of the boot, we make some adjustments on the binding, and then the binding is tested to make sure that those bindings, or that the adjustments are working properly, to give you the assurance that you will stay in your bindings when you need to be, and be out when you need to be.
Yeah, no, that's super important when you're skiing and riding, to not pop out when you don't want to, and that
Right.
you do come out when you want to.
Yeah, and if you get a new boot, the bindings will need to be readjusted for and tested for that boot size. Sometimes they need to be remounted, and it's every 30 days of skiing. So if you ski a half a day,
Yeah.
that's like every 60
Yeah.
half days. But every 30 full days of skiing, or once a year, you should take your bindings into to a shop and have them release tested.
I had no idea, and I probably should have had mine tested 5 times since the last time that I've had.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about it, and if you imagine that the bindings are in a pretty hostile environment. You put them on the car rack, outside on the bus. There's salt and moisture that can corrode the internal workings of a binding.
Yeah.
And if it gets rusty, it gets unreliable, and we don't want that.
Yeah, you guys are always telling me all kinds of new information on ski boots and your insoles and now bindings.
Yeah, so you have to take care of your equipment. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a responsibility there in order for you to depend on the binding.
Right, so definitely a trustworthy source, everyone. Precision
Yeah.
Ski and Jimbo over there. You guys are the local experts on everything. And
No doubt.
you have more than just gear. You guys do rentals and things like that too.
Yep. We sell boots, we sell bindings, we do a lot of tuning, boot fitting, all of that. And another thing that's going on with boots, like if you look at this boot compared to this boot here, this sole is flat. This sole has a rock to it. And what that means is that this sole is easier to walk in or to hike in than a typical alpine sole.
Yeah, which is awesome.
The only issue is that this sole requires a certain type of binding. All the manufacturers make them that will allow the boot to get into the binding and accommodate a higher toe dimension due to the ramp angle of the boot.
Yeah, and that's why you should bring your stuff over to Precision Ski so
Yeah.
you guys will tell us
Yeah.
if it fits or not.
It can be complicated, and it's all built around standards that are in the industry. A lot of times the standard for the boot sole is emblazoned right in the material on the base of the boot, and it gives you a clue as to whether this is going to be accommodated in your binding or not.
Okay. All right, well, super great tips with Jimbo. Where can everyone find Precision Ski and give you a call?
Well, we're in Frisco on Summit Boulevard, across from Walmart, so we're easy to find.
Super easy to find. There's the storefront there. Come say hi to Jimbo and everyone else and pick up some new gear or come get your bindings tested out for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for coming
Enjoy the
on
day.
today. Yeah, everyone, enjoy your weekend from Jimbo. We'll be back after this. We've all got Crystal's already cooking some stuff up over in the kitchen, and it smells really good, so we're going to be hearing from her in just a little bit after this.